basta volvor magnate perinde yo Yudra let besta let skinne perinde yo
I remember him using this in his campaign against me, saying Barack Obama supports teaching sex education to kindergartners, and which I didn't know what to tell him. But it's the right thing to do.
Against that backdrop, I heard a quote today from Senator Barack Obama, which puzzled me. He said that we should have sex education in kindergarten. I'm not kidding you. And I scratch my head as I hear that. Sex education in kindergarten. As governor, I was governor 4 years. I never had a parent come to me, not once, come to me and say, you know what, Governor, I'm concerned about something. What's that? I'm concerned we don't have enough sex education. I don't think our kids are learning enough about sex. I never heard that. And so I was shocked to hear that he thinks we need to have sex education in kindergarten. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a need. He went on to say, of course, it should be age appropriate. How much sex education is age appropriate for a 5-year-old? In my view, 0 is the right amount.
C'était horrible. Ils m'ont violée.
Ils t'ont violé? C'est quoi violer, tiens?
J'ai touché le zizi, je l'avais fermé. J'avais 6 ans, je comprenais pas encore ce qu'il faisait. Il y avait un endroit à Paris dont lui c'était le chef. Donc il disait qu'il était un grand mage et qu'il s'appelait Bouc-Noubourg. Et dans cet endroit, ils avaient des grandes robes blanches avec des bords dorés. Puis ils faisaient des prières, ils violaient les enfants, ils leur faisaient peur et puis il y avait plusieurs autres gens aussi qui nous violaient et nous endormaient avec des espèces de bouillies. Puis ils nous attachaient aussi sur des tables et puis ils nous frappaient ou ils nous mettaient des aiguilles auprès des yeux pour nous faire croire qu'ils voulaient nous crever les yeux.
Et est-ce qu'ils vous faisaient réellement du mal? Est-ce qu'ils vous donnaient des coups?
Oui. Oui, ils nous frappaient.
Tu tuais les enfants? Comment tu m'expliques ça?
Parce que j'aime plus.
The Intel Hub. Today we're talking with Matthew. He's got an incredible story to share with us, and we'll jump right into it. Matthew, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your story.
Hi, Bob. Well, my name's Matthew. I'm English. I live in England. I grew up in what I thought was a fairly normal family, living a fairly normal life. And then at the age of 33, when I was living in a Buddhist meditation center, I started to remember being abused as a child. And not just abused, but tortured and serially abused. It was a really terrifically horrendous period when that recall began. I wondered about my sanity, and then I realized that these were true recollections. More and more came back. And now I've put together enough pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to know that from the age of 11 months until I was 12 years old, I was sexually abused and raped by 53 men.
We'll talk about a little bit about how that actually works on the brain, this sort of abuse as a child, this trauma-based mind control, as I put it. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about the players involved. You mentioned there was 52 plus men involved with this, and these weren't just any men. And I talk a lot about on the show about the sick pedophile scumbags that are in control of the higher echelons of the banking system, of the military-industrial complex, of the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. I talk about these folks as being pedophiles, and I think that we need to let people know that this isn't the creepy guy next door necessarily.
It's rarely the creepy guy next door. Rarely the creepy guy next door. Most child abuse is by trusted family or friends, and their associates if they're involved in some kind of organized activity. Organized activity is not rare. It's very common. It's big business. It's a multi-billion-pound industry worldwide. I can't remember which agency it was, but one of the UN agencies estimated that in 2005, the value of children sold as sex slaves around the world was $21 billion that year.
Normal childhood?
What childhood? I don't know what that means.
A lost childhood and a loss of innocence. He blames the adults, not just those looking to profit from charming children, but also some with far more sinister motives.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Vultures who Feldman says abused him and his best friend, the late child actor Corey Haim, his co-star in The Lost Boys.
Well, what happens if my mom is dating the head vampire?
Feldman says the trauma of that pedophilia contributed to Haim's death.
There's one person to blame in the death of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry.
Basta volvor, wag nadap ka rin de, yo. Ulit, basta ulit, skinap ka rin de, yo.